What's up, guys? This is JamesBl0nde with OnRPG.com, and there's been one game that's been at the top of OnRPG's news, and that game is the action-style fantasy MMO TERA Online. This game's Europe launch last weekend was so large that it couldn't handle the high number of players, and the servers continued to crash all weekend. Luckily, that didn't happen to me when I hopped onto this past weekend's first closed beta test to bring you some first impressions of this highly anticipated TERA Online. TERA has 7 character races and 8 classes to choose from alongside a remarkable character customization system. Among the races are the Human, Castanic, Aman, Popori, Elin, Baraka, and High Elf races. Each of the races has an interesting history and unique racial traits. For example, the Baraka has a racial trait that allows them to craft magic weapons 10% faster than any other race, and their stamina never falls below 20% even if they die. Popori can move slowly on land and carefully sneak past enemies while being faster in water than other races. The fiery tempered Castanic, the race I chose, have a greater chance to critically hit when attacking from behind. And luckily enough for me, they don't take as much damage when they fall as does any other race. Of the 8 classes to choose are the Warrior, Lancer, Slayer, Berserker, Sorcerer, Archer, Priest, and Mystic. For me, it was between the Warrior and the Archer. I was torn between these two because I wanted to make sure that I picked a class that allowed me to get the most of the action-style combat of this game. I do like action MMO games where playing as an Archer allows you to aim like you would in a third-person shooter. But I noticed that you can get a lot of variety out of the Warrior in this game. The Warrior is fast with 2 blades, and if I decided to challenge myself later, this class can serve as a skill-based off-tank. This works because the Warrior's evasive skill, so I'm all in. I got a pretty good idea the game would be crazy detailed when I began customizing my character. You can further customize your characters past the presets by tweaking the hairstyle, skin color, and even the bone structure of the brow, nose, and cheekbones. You can even adjust how crooked your nose is. There's tons of stuff to mess with, but I got anxious and just wanted to play. Starting out, I quickly understood how the game differs from most other MMOs, and that it's not just your whack-a-mole combat mechanics. You actually have to evade your enemy's blows and use your skills together to create chained combos. As the Warrior, the right-click action skill is an evasive roll that is then chained with Vortex Slash, which is an AoE attack. Plenty of times I would enter a battle with an evasive roll followed by a Vortex Slash to take out most of the minions around the leader of enemy packs. The first time you experience a group of enemies together is a mini-boss battle at level 8. Fighting the boss can make you become even more familiar with keeping your distance from heavy-hitting opponents. Oh, and using a controller makes TERA's combat even more fun. There's a unique feature in this game in the form of stamina. It acts as a health and mana buff. In the top corner of the UI, there's a heart that indicates your stamina percentage. When it's full, your overall mana and HP is increased by a certain percentage, but it slowly creeps down over time, making you more and more vulnerable. Stamina can be restored several different ways, primarily by standing near a large campfire in towns or by using campfires you gain by fallen enemies or buy from a merchant. There are also potions you can purchase that will fully restore your stamina, but not while in combat. There are other items you gain from quests like Engine of Multiplicative Mischief or Charms that can only be used next to a campfire. You learn quickly how to mine and gather, and this lets you find plenty of crafting materials by mining ore and gathering extract from plants. At level 11 or so, you pick up quests that help you with crafting in the city you travel to via Pegasus. The crafting in the game is simple enough. You have to learn what it is you're going to craft by buying the designs from one NPC, some missing materials from another, and use a necessary crafting bench to craft the materials. Each profession like weaponsmithing or tailoring has its own separate area in the large cities. I do think that TERA is all that it was cracked up to be, and more. The game's graphics are beautiful as to be expected, and the combat is addicting, making the quest that much more fun. There's a reason TERA won the Presidential Award at the Korean Game Awards in 2011 for the best graphics, character design, and sound. So if you've been anxious to play TERA, you probably know that you can gain access to the closed beta if you pre-order TERA. There will be 5 closed beta tests, ending with an open beta test April 19th through 22nd. And players who pre-order TERA will gain access to the Head Start, which is an event that takes place the weekend before TERA's launch date on May 1st. But to keep up with new information regarding TERA as it moves towards its release date, you can hang out at OnRPG.com. But first, hit that like button. I'm JamesBl0nde. See you out there, gamers.
Effective immediately, I'm putting you on active duty. In a couple weeks, you'll probably wish you were still chasing piglings on the Island of Dawn.